Hey, it's So from Zoe's Real Thoughts. Today I'm going to be reviewing Steve McQueen's 12 Years a Slave. 12 Years a Slave is based on the autobiography of the same name by Solomon Northup, a free black man who, in 1841, was kidnapped and sold into slavery. Chiwetel Ejiofor plays Solomon, a man who takes on a job as a violinist at a circus, only to wake up the next day in shackles and sold to various slave owners throughout the span of 12 years. Right from the beginning, we are thrown into the unimaginable reality of having your freedom stripped away from you. Not only does this film reiterate the same kind of themes tackled in previous films about slavery like Roots and Glory, but Steve McQueen's approach to it intensifies the reality by holding up a mirror to the audience and presenting this idea that Solomon's situation could essentially happen to anybody. 12 Years a Slave has an A-list ensemble from Chiwetel Ejiofor to Michael Fassbender to Benedict Cumberbatch, Brad Pitt, Paul Dano, Paul Giamatti, Sarah Paulson, Alfred Woodard. But the real gem in this film is newcomer Lupita Nyong'o, who plays Patsy, one of the slaves and mistresses to Michael Fassbender's character. Without a doubt, her role as Patsy is one of the most complex and epitome of oppression that I have ever seen on screen. Every actor tackles its role with such veracity and dimension that gives the old story of slavery a more in-depth and intricate take than the usual black and white approach that we've seen in previous films. Without a doubt, oh my god, this film is absolutely suffocating and a harrowing representation of the humanistic pilgrimage of survival that will leave you gasping for air even in the first 5 minutes. This film is unlike any other film in that it is not for your entertainment. There is absolutely nothing entertaining about this film. It is just a harrowing, unfiltered, raw representation of what I feel to be one of the most shameful periods of US history. And so I actually saw this film a month ago, and it's so sad I'm just doing it now. And director Steve McQueen, Michael Fassbender, Chiwetel Ejiofor, Alfred Woodard came and did a Q&A, and it was really interesting to listen and kind of get a more in-depth feel and knowledge about their process and their characters. And you know, I know there's been a lot of talks of Oscars right after the film. Even I thought, I'm like programmed like this now, even I thought like, oh my god, this is totally Oscar worthy. But it is so unfair to completely shove this film into that kind of category that it is Oscar worthy, because this film is so much more than that. This film is about life, and this is not a competition. This is not a film that can be cornered into this kind of scale of what Oscar-worthy films should be like, and it is so important, and I cannot emphasize it enough. And I was so just blown away. I was wrecked by the end of the film. I had absolutely no words. And Steve McQueen is one of my favorite filmmakers of all time, and it seems like his previous films, including this film, Hunger and Shame and 12 Years a Slave, they all deal with a male protagonist who is mentally, physically, emotionally imprisoned by something, whether it is sex or, you know, being in actual prison or being captured as a slave. And so it has this really, I love this theme that he's continuing to work on, and it's so raw, it's so important to talk about. And yes, it will probably get nominated for an Oscar, but you know, especially for Lupita and Ejiofor, their roles are so intricate, and it's just incredible to see them on that kind of scale. And I'm just completely amazed. I really love the film. I can't even, like, I feel like I'm like so sweaty right now just talking about it. I just absolutely, it's just so freaking great, and I need everyone to go see it. It's just so important, and I felt like it is so much more than a film. It's just beyond anything I've ever seen, and oh my god, there's just so many scenes that really wreck you to the core, and I can't emphasize this enough. please definitely go see it. And let's talk about it. Let's really discuss and, you know, be aware of what happened in history and acknowledge it, and not be so shameful about it, and learn from it and grow from it, and, you know, become better people, learn from our past. And I am just getting emotional. Okay, anyways, thank you for listening. Definitely go see it. It is one of my favorite films of 2013, without a doubt. Yes, please follow my blogspot, Twitter, Tumblr, YouTube. Subscribe if you haven't already, and sadly I can't wait for the Oscars. It will be a very interesting one. Alright, bye.